good morning. I'm going to show you my quick fix for the Micro Roni slide release for the Glock. So they just released the Gen 4 and everybody had complained that the Micro Roni slide release right here sucks because it doesn't catch. And I just got this for a present this year, and it doesn't work at all, actually. It's more than I want to deal with, so I'm gonna be taking the whole thing out. I unbolted it. It's just 2 Allen screws right here. But anyways, so I unbolted it and pulled it off, and this is your problem right here. It does not catch the slide release on the Glock. To release it, it actually sets below it. See where that little nick is right there on the Glock? That's where it's hitting it at. So my solution is I took the whole thing off, and I'm just gonna cut this whole section out with the Dremel here, and smooth it out with some sandpaper wheels, and basically leave this whole area open. Hopefully it doesn't look terrible, but that's exactly what they did on the Gen 4 scenario. They cut this whole section out, actually a huge portion of it out, and they made this piece that goes on the Glock, they made it where it was stationary and can stay in there all the time, which I do wish I had that, but it doesn't matter. That part doesn't bother me as much as this does. Literally, that's a huge problem. But anyways, I'm gonna start cutting, and I'll show you the after, and we'll see how it goes. All right, guys, I am finished. It turned out all right. I'm a perfectionist, so this is not gonna be probably my final attempt at cleaning this up. But for the most part, a lot of people won't even be able to tell unless they get in really close. Obviously, it just looks like a cutout made there. So I do want to say, if you have a Micro Roni or the brace, so the standard one without the NFA requirements, if you're wondering if this will work for your Roni, I basically unbolted this button before I even started or thought about this idea. I took those 2 Allen screws out the back, and it gave me the 3 holes that you saw in the earlier video. And if you put your Glock in, you can see where your slide release is at. So if your slide release is anywhere in this area, which it should be for that button, you can do this, and it should work fine. But anyways, I started out with the cutting wheel for the Dremel. Cut through, best I could. I stayed along those edges right there with it, and then I tried to hack some this way, and then I tried to go down this way, but as you can see, the wheel is bigger than the hole, so I nicked that area right there, which made me really mad. That's okay. Took out as much as I could with that, and then I put on basically the sandpaper wheels, and I started out with this really rough grit one, and I sanded it down the best I could with it, and then I took the finishing wheel, which is a fine grit, really nice and smooth, and then I went around with it and finished it off with it. I did use the leather thing to help get in there and melt some of that plastic out that was hard to get in those corners, because it fits really well, but I didn't want to push it any further with it because it was just really hard to see what angles I was hitting and stuff with it. So I did the best I could with that, but if you can find a smaller cutting wheel, you'll be better off. It was kind of hard to get in the angles and stuff. I had to take this out, this plastic piece for the Glock. I had to take it out because it was getting in the way, and honestly, I should have probably took that out, took that off the thumb brace. But anyways, turned out good. You know, I think this is definitely a good fix. I'll put the Glock in a second. For you husbands out there, don't do this over carpet. I got melted plastic in the rug, and I had to sit down there and pick it out as I cleaned up. But I cleaned up before I did this video. So I'm gonna put the Glock in now and show you guys what it looks like with the Glock and make sure it operates. Show you the placement. I'm about to charge it back. I will tell you, this I kind of like and hate at the same time. I like it because it keeps your thumb like elevated enough that when you reach in here, you're on top of that slide release. But at the same time, it's just harder to get your thumb in there a little bit. So that part's kind of aggravating. If somebody else was doing this, they might go ahead and just cut that whole piece off if you wanted to. Then again, you might not want to. It just further keeps you away from the slide on the gun. Totally up to you guys, whatever you feel like doing. But I'm keeping it probably just like this. But I'll show you real quick how it works. I'm gonna have to do a weird hold on the phone here with my knees. So let's do. The Glock is, the slide is back, as you can see. The gun is clear, by the way. I checked it before I did this video. All right, so the slide's back. Reach in, one-handed, no struggle. Release. Good to go. That's your fix, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope this helps a lot of you. I was pretty aggravated when I got mine and figured out that slide didn't work exactly. But this is the Micro Roni fix. Good luck.